So this is our second part of today's webinar, and we'll talk about test project. So test project is free test automation for all. We'll talk about everything, how it is free, how it will help on the test automation, and why we are saying it is test automation for all. It is cloud hosted. That means you don't have to uh, create some project on your Eclipse IDE or IntelliJ or PyCharm or whatever you use to create your project, right? You write your code. You don't have to do that thing. All your test cases will be there in the cloud. All your test script, execution, everything will happen on the cloud. The execution probably will happen on your system, but the report will be there in the cloud. Community powered means there are a lot of people who are developing this, helping on this, and all the questions or queries if you have, that will be resolved. Okay, so I'm going to this particular presentation to understand what is test project, and then uh, we will start. But before that, as we have time here, let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. All of you, whoever has logged in through your laptop or desktop, do one thing. Go to the testproject.io. This particular website is there for the test project. It's a free test automation for all. Here you have login option or free sign up. So you can create the account. It's absolutely free to create the account here, and you can put your full name, your email ID and password. Don't worry, it's all secured, and then sign up. It may give you one, you know, confirmation mail will come where you have to confirm. But this is the basic thing that you have to do first. So we are doing it as a workshop, right? So do it with me. So you guys have to register on this to use this tool actually. So once you will register and confirm, you will be able to log in. So let me log in. So I am doing the login. Probably I was already logged in. Let me log out. Okay, when I click on sign in. Okay. So here, once I create my account with the testproject.io, let me put it into the chat window. It is testproject.io. This particular website, you have to go and create your account using signing. Okay. So once you will create the account, I am doing a login, and you will be able to see the home page. For you, it will be blank because if you are using it for the first time, you will not be able to see a lot of things. But you will be able to see project, monitor, add-ons, report, agent, integration, and these things. Right? So you have to go to, let's say, agent, hover over it, and you will be able to see Windows, Linux, Mac, Docker options. Based on what kind of machine you are using, select that. This will download the agent into your system. Okay? So do this thing, and this is the prerequisite to do the automation. So I am noting down the steps also for you in the notepad that you have to, what do you have to do? You have to go to testproject.io, and then this is the first step. Okay, first step is this. Then what is the next step? Next step is probably you have to confirm. If you are getting a mail, confirm your account through your mail, and testproject.io, here you have to create your account. Okay, confirm through mail. Then the third thing is login. Fourth thing is download, install agent. So how you will do that? Here is the agent option once you will log in. If you are using Windows, click here. If I click here, it is going to download the test project agent. That's it. Once it will be installed, once it will be there, you have to run this exe. It's a kind of installer which will install the agent into your system. Why this agent is required? The question is why this agent is required. Because as I said that this is cloud-based test automation platform. So there will be a link between your system as a client and all your test cases or the execution, everything is there in the cloud or some other machine. So there should be a link between this. Other thing is there are a lot of things which we have to capture. So for example, like um, maybe related to how many devices you are using, right? What kind of different mobile application you are using, what kind of machine you have, everything. So for example, if I click on my agent, I'm able to see that I have an agent here, and there are options here. If I click on here, it is showing me everything that I have these browsers, okay, some name and everything, operating system type and everything. So you have to connect with your agent. So once you will install it, and when you will go to the agent, here the registration option will come, register option will come. And once you click it, it will connect the agent with your system. It's like this. Okay. So I'm giving some time. Let me know in the chat window if these things are done. So this is established on 2015 October. And if you see the timeline here, now from the 2019 January, it is public availability is there. And the best part about test project is it is free to use. And in 2019 itself, on June, Tricentis acquired test project. Uh, Tricentis has a lot of other tools also. Tosca is one of them. The same company has test project under its tree. So what it is actually, it is a free solution for web, API, and mobile automation. It is the free solution for web as well as API testing as well as mobile testing automation. It is based on the Selenium and FPM only. It is cross-platform, web-based app with agent. So when we say cross-platform, irrespective of your operating system, irrespective of your what browser you are using, it will work. Okay. There is established SDK also. We'll see this part tomorrow. It is community focused automation solution, right? So there are a lot of features, there are a lot of options available in the test project. You don't have to, and there is one option also where you don't have to create the manual test cases. You focus on the automation, and there is a step which will generate your manual test cases. How cool is that? Have you ever thought of that? You will automate first, and then you will write the manual test cases. Generally it happens like we have to have manual test cases and then write the automation uh, test suite or the code. But let's say if you want to automate a particular feature where, okay, you have the steps defined in Jira ticket, right? You can directly automate it and then you can generate the test cases out of it. That is possible here. It is community powered platform. It is cloud centric. In the background, it is actually open source oriented using Selenium and FPM only. It is multi-platform support, mobile capable. That means you can run your test cases from the mobile also. You can see the reports on the mobile also. Once you will create the test case, you can run it from anywhere. Community powered. Yes, because there are a lot of communities, there are a lot of forums available to help on this. Okay? And there is a particular code also. You can write, if you want to write your own code, that is also fine. We'll see that part. So this is a particular platform. How it is, like in central, you have a proper system where you one side you will have test project platform, you have the blogs, you have the forums, you have the add-ons. So add-ons are related to a special thing if you want. For example, let's say you want to work on iframe, or you want to check whether download is happened on your system or not. There are a lot of things where we found a lot of difficulty when you are automating through the Selenium, right? So there are different kind of add-ons available to help on that part. Okay, so you can create your test cases on Windows, Mac machine, or Linux machine, but then you can execute your test cases on, let's say, if you want to execute on Apple mobiles or Android mobiles, that's perfectly fine. You created your test cases, but now you want to execute on different browser, that is perfectly fine. And there are other integration available. So SaaS Lab and Browser Stack integration is available with this. You can integrate your test cases to the CI/CD pipeline also. This we are going to see today only. Don't worry about it. So when we say CI/CD pipeline is like where you want to execute your test case, you want to trigger your test case execution on a particular time, or whenever there is a GitHub integration is there, you want to run your test cases. It's possible. So what are the powerful tools available here? Here we have test recorder, which will record the steps. There are add-ons. So through the add-ons, there are multiple special things you can do based on your requirement. There is SDK, so that you can integrate your existing framework to test project platform. That's possible. Extensive analytics, that means in the report you will be able to see a proper analysis like which is failed, what was your previous execution, what is the report, everything. It is AI powered, so we will see that thing. Why I'm saying it is AI powered, because when a particular step is not able to find an element, it will try on its own to find that element. We'll see that particular example also. How this works, what is the ecosystem behind it? You have the test project agent, which will be there in your system, that will help you on running on your cross platform recording or execution. The whole development of your test case is possible only when you have the agent in your system. Okay? Once you will develop it, it will be available on the cloud. It's not there on your system. Your test repository and everything is there on the cloud system. Cloud means you, on your login, when you logged in, these services will be available to you, right? So for example, Gmail, right? Any email system, when you log in, you are able to see on the web browser, right? It's not on your system as a in hard disk, right? It's there in the cloud only. Okay. So it's a free forever. It's a free forever system plan. You don't have to pay anything for this. That is the beauty of this application and the simplicity part. So as I see that people are ready with that, let's do the practical part. And don't worry about it. We are doing it in a very slow way. Whatever I am doing, first see what I am doing. Don't do in parallel way with what I am doing. I'll repeat the steps. I'll repeat. Once I'll done, I'll repeat the step. First you should understand that how it works, what are the components available here. Okay, so let me start with this. Once you will be able to see the status is ready, that means everything is set up. The basic requirement is set up. Let's think about one particular uh, step test case I want to perform. So I want to automate very simple steps we'll take. So there is a particular website, let's say test.techlive.in, and I want to click on the login. Here at the right hand side, there is a login option. I want to put a particular user ID and I want to put some invalid password. Okay, so some I have put, I'll show you this password. I have written password 987, which is actually an invalid password for this particular application. Okay, let me give you this in chat window also, so that at the same time you can also open and try it what I'm saying. So this particular website, I'm opening test.techlive.in/login, where I'm putting some user ID and some password, and I click on login, and it is showing me invalid login, try again. So let's assume this is our test case. This is the test case. Let me note down the step. Test step. Login into this, then uh, user ID, you have to provide something. I'm not writing anything. Password, you have to provide something, and then you have to click on login. Okay, and these are the steps. What is my expected? Generally we write the test cases in this way only. What is my expected behavior? The expected behavior is this message. Okay, I'll write error message. This particular thing should be displayed. This message should be displayed. A very simple test case. And I want to automate this. Let's see how much time it will take, what you have to do, and you can compare with what you are doing right now. Done. So great. Whoever is able to do it, that's fine. Don't worry about if the agent is not working in your system. It's absolutely fine. You can try it later on. Let's see what I'm doing. Let's observe what I'm doing. So there is a project option. I'm going to the project. You will be able to see uh, where you can create the new project also, right? So you should be able to see to create new project. Somewhere you will see the option to create new project. Maybe if you are a first time user, you will be able to see some option here at the middle, new project. For me, I'm an old user. I'm able to see in the drop down plus new project, this option. So I'm clicking there. Don't do it with me as of now. Just observe what I'm doing and how much time it will take to automate this particular thing. So I'm writing my project name is uh, test login for invalid credential. Correct? Generally, this kind of name we give for a test. So I can write the description. It's an optional thing. So I can write validate the error message when user specify invalid valid credential on login. So these may be my description. It's an optional part. I'm clicking on the create here. Sorry, it was a project. So the project name should be simple. Let me edit it. Sorry. So let me edit this name. Is it possible to edit? Because this is actually test name. So my project name should be simply, let me note down this. This is my test name actually. This is description. My bad. Okay. This is project name. So project name is simply, um, I'm giving just demo. Okay. Demo. You can give a particular project name. Description is demo description. I'm writing here. You can give a proper project description. Save. Now, once you will do that, you'll be able to see create a test. So here I'm ready to create the test case now. I'll simply click on create test. It will ask me what kind of test case you want to make. Is it the mobile test case or the web test case, or you want to write your own code? So I am selecting as of now for today's demo, web test. I want to do the web automation. Next, it is asking me what is your test case name and everything, description. So actually, this is my test case name, test login for invalid credential, and the description is this. Click on next. It will ask you what is your web application. So you go here and click on add new application. Okay. So here you give your application name. So my application name is, let's say, TechLift, a particular website name. So if you want to automate a particular abc.com, you should give what is your application name, right? If you are automating a particular website, you should give that name, and you have to give a basic URL for that. So what is my base URL? My base URL is, let me go back. This is my base URL. Okay. So this is my URL, test.techlift.in. This is my base URL. Click on finish. Once you will click on finish, it will show you in the drop down whatever application you have. Okay, select that TechLift, click on next, and it is asking me what you want to do now. Do you want to record the step? Do you want to edit the existing step? Or do you want to write a blank test case? As of now, I want to record. So I clicked on the record and I'm going to say start recording. Just observe what I'm doing. So I clicked on start recording. So it is preparing in the background to record the steps which I'm going to do on my base URL. Okay, let's wait for it. It is preparing everything and it will give you a panel at the left hand side that what are the actions you are doing, it will capture. So our first step is clicking on the login, right? So my first step is clicking on this login. I'm clicking here. So yes, I clicked there. So at the left hand side, you can see the step is recorded and there are options pause, run. So anytime you can pause your test case or you can run until till what you have done. My next step is I want to put the email address. So let me put as uh, something I'm putting. Okay. Nitesh.jain @test.com and password I'm putting some, let's say password 987. If you observe at the left hand, everything is getting recorded. I Now I want to click on login. And once I logged in, it is showing me invalid login, try again. Now I want to verify this error message I want to verify. Now what you can do is you can get this text. One thing is like you can get this text and confirm that this text is as expected text. One way. Another way is click on 2 times shift. So I clicked on 2 times shift, going to this element and did 2 times shift in my Windows keyboard. So there is a validation option. So I want to check this particular element contains a particular text. So I'm clicking here and it is asking me what you want to check. What is your text which you want to check? So I want to check this particular error should contain try again. Try again. Spelling I'm checking again. Yes. And click on save step. Done. Once I do that, I can pause my recording. Okay. And you can rerun your test cases. You can run your test cases. So I'm clicking on the run, which will actually see here. I'm not doing anything now. It is very fast, recorded, and it is run. If anything will fail, it will show you in red color. As of now, it is not failed. Once you are done with that, let me check. Okay, so once you are done with that, you can close this browser. I'm closing this and it will take some time to save that test case. Great. So I'm able to see a particular test case is saved now. It is showing me the name of my test case is test login invalid credential. My application name is TechLift. I modified it 4 minutes back. Great. Now the question is, once this test case is created, how to run it again? So this you can make as many test cases and see here, there is a new test case again option. You can create another test case. I want to run this. I want to come tomorrow and I want to run this again. So you have to go to your project. You'll be able to see all the test cases created here. And I will click on this. There is a run option. I click here and it will ask you where you want to run. You want to run on Edge, you want to run on Firefox, or you want to run on Chrome. Let's say I want to run on Chrome. I click on the next. It is asking me which application. Okay, this one. Fine. Click on run. on run, observe what is happening. It is now will start running. I'm not doing anything. The machine is doing now. So this particular test case, login, verifying, done, closed. All the things are done. But where is my report? Where is my report? So here, if you see, there is an icon, report icon, right? So if I click here, it will show me the report. It is showing me that you ran your test case on 4:49 p.m. This is Indian time, IST, and you had total 8 number of test steps for this particular test case. Pass percentage is there, and at the right hand side you'll be able to see the steps. Here the green bar is visible. That means this is passed. At any step, if it is failed, it will show you red, and as well as it will automatically capture the screenshot of that particular step. That is the beauty of how simple it is and how we will work on it. Let me do one more thing. I'm going back to my project. My project is demo. This is my one test case. Let's create one more test case where we will fail that test case. We'll try to make a test case failed. Okay. So how to make another test case? Clicking on the new test, you have to select, okay, web test case I want to make. My test case name is this time, let's say, um, we will try to, again, the same step, but this time we want to make it fail, right? Let's try. So here I'm writing the test case name is again test login without test login without credential. So we will not provide anything and we'll click on the login button. Okay. I'm clicking on next. And what is my web application? So once it is made, you don't have to create again and again. You just have to select. Last time you put the URL, right? So that's fine. Let's record it. So I want to record again. This time we will not put any user ID and password, and we will directly click on the login button. Let's see. And we will do some kind of validation and we'll see whether a particular test case based on the expected and actual, if it is not matching, what will happen. So I want to click on this login button. Just a minute. Yes, I clicked on the login button. Now I don't want to provide the user ID and password. I simply click on login. So when I click on login, it is showing me, please fill in something, some message it is showing, right? Now I want to check that there should be login options present here, right? It should not be error message or something. So I'm checking again by doing a 2 times shift, and I'll say validate contain text. I will do login again, something like that. But actual, this is my expected. Let's say my expected is login again, and actual is login. So this test case will fail actually. So I'm doing a save step. Okay, let's wait and let's So it's showing me that a particular element it is not able to find, right? So it is AI powered. That means it will try on its own to find an element. Another thing is you can put your own element also. So let me pause this, and let's say I want to make my own step. That is also possible. If you want to make your own step, that's possible. So to do that, I want to check a particular element, same as what we do in the Selenium. You find the element, right? So by default, see, it is showing me the XPath. You can click on this search icon. So it is saying one match. That means that is perfectly fine. But if you want to change this, you can change it. You can use your own mechanism to find an element. That's perfectly fine. You can do that. So you can edit it. You can edit the element and the description, and just a minute. You can edit the XPath. So it is showing you either you can use this. There are a lot of ways. You can, add the locator. So you can say, no, I want to use the CSS selector. Put your expression here. So there is, uh, what do we say, the freedom customization available if you want to use your own also. Okay. So let me run this. Let's see what will happen. Okay. Okay. The expected element in step 4 is missing. Don't worry, test project AI is looking for another path forward. Hold right. It is checking on its own also. Okay, that's fine. So this is done. I am closing this. This is the second test case we have created. Now the question is, there is hard coding. We did hard coding of user ID and password. Correct? We should not do that, because otherwise, that user ID, every time whenever you will run your test case, the same credential will be used. There should be a mechanism where this test data will be provided from external source. Yeah, so somebody has asked the same question, how to change that parameter in the variable. Let's see that part. That's a very obvious question. So test login with credential, I want to put the test data for this. So I'll click on this dot 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 option. Here, there is an option to data source template. Click here. This will give you the Excel sheet, sorry, the CSV file, which will say that what are the data you have used. So we have used just the application URL. User ID and password will also come. Let me close this. Let me go to the test case again. Now I will change that to, okay, this is test without credential. Let me go back. I want to go to the second test case. This one, test login for invalid credential, this one. And here we have hard coded this user ID, right? Let me go here. And here, instead of using this nitesh.jen@test.com, I will click on this plus icon. Plus icon, I will delete this. And this tool is made in a way that you will understand it by using it, right? You will get it, oh, okay, what it is happening. Here is one plus icon. I'll click on add new parameter and I'll say this is username. That's it. So this now will be a username. That variable will be a username, and that is on the test basis. I can set the variable on the project basis or the test basis, on the project level or the test level. As of now, I'm setting it as a test level. Add, done. And here is the right mark. You click there and save it. So this time, if you see here, it is showing me that type username. Okay. Guys, wait for it. I'll take the question answer at end. Let's understand it first. Then there is a password field that also I don't want to hard code here. So I'll click here and instead of putting the password in hard coded way, I'll click on the plus icon here. I'll delete this. I'll say I want to add a parameter. Here you give password as a parameter value. That's it. Click on the add, click on this icon and save it. Done. Now, when you have written type username, type password, done. Now you have to save and exit. I am doing a save and exit. This is my test case, test login for invalid credential. I will generate a CSV for this, data source template. Generating it, and let's put the values in the CSV now. Okay, so let me put, so see here, this values has come. I have opened that CSV. So you don't have to create the sheet or uh, the column name or the parameter name. Actually, it will generate for you. So my application URL is, already what is your application URL. The application URL is test.techlib.in. Okay. Password is, let's say, password 987. Username is dummy user. Any invalid user actually I'm giving as of now. Save it. I saved it on my local. This is in my local system. I'm closing this. Going back to your test project and create a data source. At the left hand side, there are options: elements, applications, parameters. So you can create your own parameters if you feel that there is a particular parameter to be created for the project or for the test level. If you want the data source to be created. So I'm clicking on the data source. It is saying me add a data file. Data file means test data. So I'll give a name, let's say um, checklist login data, just the name. Description, it's optional. I click here and I'll put that particular credential, that particular CSV which we fill with the values, and click on create. So that will upload your test CSV file into the system now. And I want to use that. So uploading is another thing. Now you want to use that. Okay. So now I'm going to the test and jobs again. And let's see another feature. Now I want to run both the test cases, let's say, because there will be multiple test cases in a smoke test or the regression test. You created all these test cases, but now you want to run it in one shot. So I'll click on add a job. So it's like creating your test suite. What kind of job it is? It is a web job. Next. So I'm talking about the right hand side. There is another facility here, adding a job. Okay. So you give a name. So I'm giving it, let's say, smoke test. Click on next. And this job I want to run, you can click on, multiple browsers. So that will run on different browsers also. But as of now, I want to run on my Chrome only and create. Done. So a smoke test job is created. And I want to run this test case. So it's a simple drag and drop. I'm doing a drag and drop that my smoke test contains this test case. and test login without credential, this test case. So there are two test cases which is involved in this particular job. Now the question is about the data source. If you see here, there is a faded data icon here, data stack icon, right? So test login for invalid credential. Here, if I see, I'm clicking on that. It is asking me, you want to use a data source? Yes. Which data source you want to use? I want to use this left, tech lift login with login data. We created this, right? And click on update. Done. So this is showing me that you have a job which has two test cases. It will run on one browser. And now I will run this as a whole. So if I click, here is the run icon. If I click this, see the magic now. It is going to execute two test cases. Because we are doing it first time, it's taking a little bit time, but it will run. So how fast it is? We created the test case and it is running now two different test cases. Okay. So first test case is done. Probably it is trying to the second test case also. Yeah, it's running the second test case. That is also done. It was very fast. We were not able to observe it, but it is done actually. Now the question is, where is the report? We ran it. So here is the report icon. If I click on the report icon, it will show me you ran a job smoke test, 50% passed because one test, total test cases were two. One test case passed and one test case failed. If you see the report, it is showing me that, see here, it's in red. Test login without credential is red, and test login for invalid credential is green. For the first, this one, test login without credential, the fourth step is showing me failed, and it will capture the screenshot also. So this one is the screenshot. So if I click here, it is showing me that at this particular step, it was failed. Okay. So somebody was asking whether it captures the screenshot for each step. No, no, it captures the screenshot for only the failed step. Okay. So this is how the next big thing which I am going to show you is, let's see this, then you try on your own and we'll take the question. But let me show you one feature, a very good feature. This is a smoke test you want to run and you want to send the mail about the report. You can say that I want to mail it on the finish. I want to send the mail. So I want to send the notification to a particular person. You can, your team member's name you can put, your team member's email ID you can put, and they will be able to get the report. So I'm doing the save here. So whenever we will run this smoke, whenever the run will finish, I'll get the report. Second thing is you can schedule it. So I want to run it at particular time. So I want to run this one time. At what time? I want to run it at 5:11. Okay, as of now it is 5:08 p.m. I want to run it 5:11. Save it. You can change the time. You can put a particular time because you know when your the build will be ready, your staging will be, stage environment is ready, your test environment is ready. You can schedule this that I want to run it at 9 o'clock at the evening or morning 5 o'clock, whatever time you can set it. I'm setting it at this. I'm saving it. Done. So I'll show you once it is executed at 5:11 what kind of email I'll get. I'll share it with you. Okay. As of now, it is 3 minutes remaining. So that whole job is ran, and I got a mail. Your test project summary is there, and it is showing me in the mail itself that your test case is 50% passed, 50% failed, and these are the results. Okay. If you want to see the full report, it is showing you a link that you can click on the full report. It will navigate to your reporting dashboard, and you can open it in your mobile also. It's possible. So it will navigate to this and will say that at 5:11 you ran this, and these are the results. So this is how it works in a very smooth way. You can schedule it, you can see the report, you can add as many test cases you want,